Hi guys, here's another page in my pocket page notebook. I've got this photo that was left over from Project Life this week, and I've also got the Unplugged stamp set from Citrus Twist this month, which was perfect because we were without internet for a little while and I did take the time to unplug a little bit. So I am going to create an insert from vellum. I've just trimmed down a little piece to fit inside my pocket, and as usual I'm going to do some repeat stamping with the Recharge stamp from this set. I really love the sort of scripty font that's on it. I'm just going to use my Stays On Black ink, and I decided instead of doing a diagonal I would just do it across the page in sort of a repeat pattern. This pattern is by no means perfect, neither is my stamping, and I definitely could use a new Stays On ink pad. This one is very dry, so I do have to press really hard to get an even remotely black image. I've got a new one on the way, but for now this will do. Even though Stays On works really well on vellum, I'm just going to be really careful not to touch this and just set it aside and let it dry a little bit. I have smudged them before, and after all that work I don't want to have to redo it. So while that is drying I'm going to work on the rest of my page. Now it's a very autumny coloured photo, and lots of the papers in the Pocket Life kit this month for June are super springy and bright, which is lovely, except they don't really go with my photo that well. So in the end I'm going to use this sort of really pretty blush pink pattern, which is probably my favourite in the whole kit. And I'm just, doing my usual half-assed measuring with my fingernail to cover one side of the paper, and I am keeping the little piece that I have off cut there, and I'm going to stick that on the other side of the pocket, so it almost looks like the paper's going across the page. It's a really handy thing with these kits, having the 6x8 papers. It's a little bit more of an option for using in traveller's notebooks rather than the 6x6 pads, which I do tend to struggle with a little bit. Now that my wee insert piece is slightly drier, I can go ahead and stick my photo onto the front of it. What this means is that I can see through the white square of the photo on the back, but also the little blue marks as well. So I just want to cover that up with just one of these 3x4 journal cards. I liked the yellow, but I know I want to use the yellow stripe somewhere else, so I just started looking through the rest of them to see if I could find something plainer without any saying or really pattern on it. And there's this cute little diamond pattern card, so I just trimmed that down to fit my photo, and I can stick that on the back. And rather than have a blank card there, I'm going to stamp one of the other sentiment stamps from the same stamp set, and this offline one seemed really appropriate, so I'm just going to really carefully try and stamp that straight onto the card. Probably should have done the stamping first, but because of the sort of grid lines on the card it made it much easier to get it straight. And I was going to leave it at that, but the kit has these puffy stickers in it. There's just about always puffy stickers in these kits, but it's got these gorgeous tiny little hearts this time, and I'm obsessed with them. So I added one onto the back just to jazz that card up a little bit, and then I decided to add one onto the front as well. The colours sort of stood out against my photo. It was dark enough for it to stand out, so I added one there as well. So my plan was to sort of semi-hide my journaling under this insert on the right hand page here, just where the white strip is, and I didn't measure anything out. I just sort of visually aligned up my writing so that it would be in a line with the photo and the journal card, so that way when I flip this pocket page over it semi-hides it. I mean, the vellum's translucent enough that you can't really see it anyway, but that way it just sort of hides it a bit more, and you only see that there's journaling there once you flip the page over. Now my problem I had now was that the left-hand page, I hadn't planned on putting anything on the left-hand page, but it looked really empty, so I decided to add maybe a little cluster of these die-cut pieces. So I just went through and picked out some of the more peachy, pink-toned ones, because pink and tiny hearts. That's a winning combo for me. So when I'm feeling, you know, slightly uncreative or unimaginative, or I just need an easy solution, that's my go-to. Before I end up overthinking the whole process, I just start sticking stuff down. So I've added a cluster of those 3 die cuts at the top, and of course I'm going to add another one of those little tiny hearts. I felt like my visual triangle was lacking something, so I'm going to add a couple of little pieces down the bottom here as well. I stamped onto that label, and then I'm going to add another heart and call this page done. This is such a great stamp set this month, and really appropriate for the time that I've had, so I'm really pleased with how this page turned out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!